Well, the war going on now in Iraq is in many ways unlike any other conflict in recent memory. Michael Holmes explains who's fighting and why.
Any combined US-Iraqi sweep of Iraq's problem areas will encounter a complex array of groups with often vastly different agendas, but one common enemy, the United States of America. Here is a list of who was likely on Haifa Street shooting at American and Iraqi soldiers this week. Baathists who want to return to power, the Conqueror's Army, Sunni extremists, 20th Revolution Brigades, Ansar al-Sunnah, the Islamic Army in Iraq, the jihadi groups of Iraq, Al-Rashidin Army, and of course Al-Qaeda. It's a dizzying list of enemies, and that's just on Haifa Street. Go elsewhere, say Sada City, and you have the Mahdi Army, led by the firebrand cleric Muqtada al-Sadr. The Americans took them on in 2004 with some success. In 2007, they would face a very different Mahdi army, one whose fighters the US says have trained in Iran and in Lebanon with Hezbollah. They are better armed, better prepared for a fight. If the Mahdi army represents the greatest homegrown threat, Al-Qaeda is the war's most dangerous import. Its money, training and influence are unmatched. The irony for America being that the group didn't exist in Iraq before the invasion and was hated by Saddam Hussein. Many ordinary Sunni civilians and leaders who once entertained talks with the government now distrust it so much, especially in the wake of Saddam's disorganized execution, that they are turning to Al-Qaeda for security and leadership, and doing so in numbers. Here, just last month, Al-Qaeda-linked fighters show up as Sunnis mourn their dead, offering vengeance.
Listen, you infidels, we tell you the blood of the martyrs will not go wasted, and we, with God's help, are coming.
As Hezbollah has done in Lebanon, Al-Qaeda in Iraq is providing social services on the ground in many places, fuel, generators, medical assistance, even house repairs, services the government can't provide. At street level, there are homegrown neighborhood groups, vigilantes if you will, protecting their streets from Shia and Sunni death squads, trusting no one except their own. Different groups, different aims, nuances that vary literally from suburb to suburb, province to province. Nuances some American officers admit they still don't understand.
It's a much more complex environment, and it's one that will be resolved primarily by Iraqis, but with our full support.
And an increase in US troops, say observers, could lead to an increase in insurgent violence.
It's already been worries and fears that any American action or an American role would be targeting such militias. The same thing for Sunni insurgency. There was a call last night by the leader of Al-Qaeda in Iraq upon all his members to be ready to attack any steps or actions taken by both the American forces and the Iraqi government.
It is literally a bloody mess, where there are no easy choices. More Americans may come, but they will find a better prepared, better armed, and more determined enemy. Michael Holmes, CNN, Baghdad.